What's going on, everybody? I'm going to do a real quick review of this HDMI splitter. So this is a 2-in, 2-out HDMI splitter. Sorry, I'm setting my camera up. And so I can explain it better showing you than I could with the mess of wires that my stepson had going to it in his room. So I'm going to unplug this. So this is the power. This is just it plugs in obviously to a regular, outlet. But anyway, so here's how this thing works. So you can have two sources for video. So let's say your kid, like mine, has two gaming consoles, so an Xbox and a PlayStation. So in splitter mode, which you select by flipping that switch right there to splitter mode, you can split either source to two different monitors. So you could have your Xbox go to two different monitors, or you could have your PlayStation go to two different monitors. There's also an audio out, so you could route the sound to an AV receiver or something like that if you wanted to. So then the other mode that you have is soundbar mode. And so soundbar, some of the newer technology is this eARC, this eARC sound technology. So if you do that, then what happens is instead of two monitors, one goes to a monitor and one HDMI will go to the soundbar that is ARC or eARC enabled. And so gamers are really interested in this capacity. They're interested in the two monitors, but a lot of them are more interested in this sound for whatever reason. I'm not into it, so I don't know why, but they are. So you can change all these things with these buttons. And so this button just selects between the two different sources, like the two different consoles. And this button, this will change. So the optical audio out cable, this will change the sound that's coming out from that. So Dolby 7.1, 5.1, 2.1, and then just whatever the source thing is. And so also it supports 4K and 1080p. So you just switch these to reflect which one of, like when you're in splitter mode, which one of these is going to be 4K or 1080p. It doesn't matter. You can run them both at whatever they are. 1080p would work on anything and everything. So I would just leave that as the default unless you have a real nice 4K television or monitor. It does come with a little remote control. So you just plug that in, and the remote itself, it just switches between the different modes. So he could switch between his Xbox or his console, and it would just automatically change. So it does a whole bunch in this little box. It's really complicated. So just to summarize, two video sources, so like an Xbox and a PlayStation, and you can only utilize one of those at a time. So that's when you would use the remote to switch between 1 and 2. And you can have that come out to either two monitors, or you can have it come out to one monitor and one HDMI go to a ARC enabled soundbar or audio device. That's the best, most succinct way I can put it. So very complicated. He loves it. He thinks it's very useful. He was very pleased that I got it for him. He picked it out. And anyway, it works great. So if your kid is asking you for some weird thing for his games so he can have multiple monitors or route sound different places, this is what he's talking about.